Well, blimmin' heck, that was very interesting. So I just come up the farm just to do my usual check and made sure that the anglers were all good back at Fensmere. Came up here, it's warm, it's beautiful, sun's out and fish are, sun's out, guns out, you know, and the fish are up on the surface and loving life at the moment. So I did my usual, checked out the fish in the top lake, which were lovely. They're all feeding right in the margins. There's only a few in there at the moment. Checked out the Leany pond and, you know, they all looked very healthy and it's all been safe since I made the extra security on there. Went round, got on the main lake, everything looked tickety-boo and then came round here to the tank. Now, this was the holding tank, if you remember, back when we did the netting, and all the fish that went in here went into the 1 metre by 1 metre pens, and they were all itemised. They were all, you know, accounted for, and most of them were in separate pens to go out to certain clients, and then the other pens were ones that were going to go back in the main lake. So imagine my surprise when I came over here this morning. Of course, it's been cold up till now, and I thought, well, that's not a C1, and there was a low 20 swimming about. And I was like, bloody hell, that's a result. So I snuck in here and managed to net her out. I'll just show you photos. A cracking fish, probably up a double low 20. Well, right result, right little Brucey bonus. Anyway, comes back down after putting her back into the main lake. There's another 5 of the buggers in here. So I don't know how they got in. They must have somehow escaped from one of the holding pens and got in here, which, you know, they all look good size. They all look mid doubles, which looks fantastic. It's a great added bonus for, you know, 6 other good fish to go back into the main lake that I didn't think I had. So yeah, a nice little Sunday bonus that was. What it does mean is now that water temps are coming up, I don't want to leave them in here. They're in here with a load of C1s, and the C1s are actually, as you know, they're surplus to requirement to a certain degree. They were the fish that we rejected from grading, which all the C1s are in the Leany pond. But there is potentially going to be some good ones amongst them, which I will keep when I do the second grading with them. Now, I was going to wait for that because I had some to distribute and go up north. But with these big fish, I don't want to risk them having an oxygen crash in here and dying, because they're much more valuable. So I'm actually going to do the grading of this tomorrow. I was going to go fishing, but I'm going to have to do the grading of this tomorrow. So I'm just putting some fresh water in here again, because obviously those fish are, you know, they're all sort of 15, 16 pound. There's 5 of them that I saw. There could be another couple. Obviously something happened with one of the nets. Maybe the top opened up or something like that happened, and a few got out. But there's a few €100 worth of fish there, and I certainly want to make sure they get back up into that top lake where they can make mid-20s by the end of this year. Anyway, so a little update. I'll keep you posted, and we'll put this on, probably put this as the interim and the intro to tomorrow's grading of these fish and the movement of these fish out of here into the main lake. All right, guys, catch you. Bye-bye. Top of the morning. Right, so we're here. We're getting set up. We're dropping the water as you saw yesterday, or will be the start of this video. I found 5 or 6, maybe there could be a couple more that had obviously got out of a tank when we did our initial netting. And yeah, complete carnage. So because of that, and because I found, if you remember, a few days ago now, I found some low DO2 in there, and obviously the reason for that is you've got these big fish that are utilising a lot of that oxygen. The little ones should have been fine, and I couldn't work out why it was so low. So I'm just hoping I've caught it in time and I don't lose them fish. I put that one that's about 20 odd pound in here yesterday. I've just done a quick visual and everything looks all right. I'm sure if there'd have been any problems, it would have turned. So hopefully with the constant water changes that I've done, I've managed to get on top of it. So we'll just do a little videos through today on this, because we've got to grade these. I've actually put 2 of my 1 metre, 1 metre, 1 metre holding pens in the main lake. I will grade the very best 100 of these fish in this tank, which I will keep just in case we had more cormorant carnage on the Leany pond and I lost more of my better ones there. So I've got some contingency. I'm keeping 500 in another tank there ready for, you know, potentially these 2 new lakes or at least one of them, to start them there, and see how they go through this summer, and see sort of what the growing potential is up there, when we come to drain and net that lake on in November of this year. You know, it'd be a good little tester really, if I can put a few hundred in there. There is pike and perch and zander in there, so you're not going to get that many come through, but you're going to get a good idea of growing potential, good idea of the natural food. You know, those C2s should be up to, I'm not going to feed them, just going to see how they go naturally, but they should be up to, you know, 3 to 4 pound even naturally in there. So that'll be an interesting one. I should put some up there. And then the rest are heading north. So we've got you know, plenty of these lovely little fish to get around some of these crosses. So yeah, it's going to be a good day. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting these the bigger ones out and getting them back in there in the big lake, because obviously they potentially missed out on a little bit of growth through the winter by being in there, although I have fed them. So I'll take you through everything we've got going on here, and we'll get some video. All right, catches, bye bye. So this is you know, I've got various tanks for moving fish, but actually this, when it comes to either small fish or actually some you know, 2 to 3 bigger fish, is actually really bloody quite good. You know, not super expensive. It's just an igloo cooler, and then to that I put in, I've got the AJS pump there, which is the, I'll show you that one again. I don't know if I've shown you this before. So it's a, you know, a cordless. You plug it in and charge it. Lasts for about 8 or 9 hours. Really bloody good. This then comes up for a little hole that I've done up there. And Bob's your uncle for moving small ones, or as I say, for moving some bigger, just like 2 or 3 bigger fish without putting them in a big tank where they've got more chance of battering themselves. It's really quite good. It's right, especially if it's only short journeys. Really good little setup. It's quite cheap as well. So we've got that for the small ones. We're going to be moving them. I've got the tanks set up along there. They're just in the water along there. There they are over there. I've put them in there because then it's actually onto the deck. So the bottom of the mesh will be on the deck, and I can actually feed them, because again, I want to put them up into the top lake, but there's just too much risk if I do that, and then the cormorants spot them and they come in this last sort of few weeks. Then I'm going to have more carnage and chaos there, because I haven't been able to net that until I get the net at the end of this month. So there we go. That's what we got. Down here, you've seen this set up before. You know, it's not an all singing, all dancing bloody setup. It's my make do setup. A sheet of formwork ply acts as my grading table. Fish can go on there and they're slid off into their grading buckets. Keepers, non-keepers, and then we can take that, Sally's helping me today, we can take that up. So look, water's coming down here quite quickly now, and it doesn't take long to do this one. I'm hoping that this is going to be easier, because last year I got the big machine up here and tried to grade the bottom of this to make it flatter. But what I did do is, near the outlet here, I dug a little catch pit. So I'm hoping that most of the fish get brought towards that catch pit, and then it makes it a lot easier for us to remove these fish. So there you go. I'm going to have a brew. I'm going to have a look around the lake. Look around my lakes before Sally gets here at 9. I don't think it's going to take us that long, couple of hours. Hopefully we'll have it done and dusted. We've got dinner for the lads on the lake tonight. They've just had a Monday, Wednesday and Saturday dinners this coming week. And we've got a good mate Jason coming round for dinner as well to meet the boys, and we'll sit down and have a nice dinner, maybe a glass of wine or something like that, because that's what you do, isn't it? So yeah, let's try and get it done. I'll keep you posted as the day goes on. Catch us back. Right, here we go. So we're nearly down. Doesn't take long to get the water out of this place, and I'm just hoping, it can be a bit of a baller in here because of the clay bottom. I did try and level it, but there can be, especially with these little ones, it can be quite difficult getting them out. They bury themselves and cause all sorts of carnage. But the catch pit, I think, is going to do the job here. So let's see how we're going. Let's have a little look. Okay, so there's a load of little ones, look, little sea ones. And the catch pit, which is just here, has got a lot of them bigger ones just sitting in at the moment. They're just sitting in that slightly deeper water. I'm hoping pretty much everything comes down into that It'll make life much, much, much easier for us in the long run. But we're getting there. We're nearly there. Won't be much longer, and we get the big ones out. Obviously, they're the main cost items. They're the main fish that are worth the money. And then we'll grade through these other small ones. Remember that these smaller ones were fish that were not necessarily fish we were going to keep. These were ones which were surplus to requirements because the best fish all went up into the Leany pond. All right, so first couple out. Look at these. A little bit lean because they've been in there, but look at these for absolute peachy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. They're lively. Look at those. Absolutely beautiful little fish. So I'm just going to weigh them quickly. I do them as a pair. This one the same. Looks like a male actually, this one. But just beautiful fish, aren't they? Absolutely incredible. They're lively because this water's a bit warmer. And this is a reason why you don't do this when the water's warmer. Because these fish are under more stress like this. And it's more problematic. So I'm just going to weigh them as a pair. Gives me a rough idea for these two. Okay. So just over 9 kilos. So they're going to be like 4.5 kilo each, those fish. So lovely little ones. There's some bigger ones in there, but lovely fish to go back into the stock for this year. Go on, son. Go on, away you go. Back in your proper habitat. Go and grow big. Lovely. Okay. All right, so another couple of crackers. Just let you see them. There's more in there yet as well, so there could be 6 or so fish. But look at these. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the high back on that one. Again, a bit thinner that one, but still a absolutely beautiful fish. These are classics with this starburst scale sort of pattern on them. They're really beautiful little fish. Really cracking little fish they are. Going to make some fishery owners very happy down the track. Oh, calm down. All right, let's just weigh them and get them back in. Get them out of the way. Seven and a half kilos, so slightly smaller. Some real peaches that because I wasn't here, I was delivering, I sort of missed what was going on here, so I never knew what went back in because the boys were onto that. But you wait. It's the headline fish that I caught last year float fishing. An absolute peach. Look at that. What a perler. It's like a double row lin on this side. Look at that. What a cracking creature. You can pull back a bit. What a cracking creature. All right, let's just weigh these individually. The common's a bit bigger. Let me just get the scales on that one. I know that and identify it. So that's 4.5 kilos. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. It's going into its fourth year now, fourth summer. What a creature. Go on, little one. Go and see your fellows. Bloody marvellous. Oh, I'm buzzing. I saw 5 fish in the tank, but there's obviously a lot more. Look at that one. What a peachy common. It's going to be a bruiser, that one. Look at it, what a creature. What a creature. Now bear in mind the biggest C3s we had were up to 8 kilos. So these are slightly smaller, but look at that, 7.3 kilos going into its 4th year. So this fish I estimate will be up in the mid-20s this year. An absolute cracker. And a great fish to have found when I didn't think I had it. Look at that. What a beauty. Go on, son. Get tanks out there. Be awesome. Oh, made up with it. Absolutely bloody marvellous. And another perler of a fish. I mean, look at that. What a beautiful creature. Another beautiful fish. It's got a really lovely little scale pattern on this side, down up near its tail. Look. Hang on, you'll be back in a second. Back in a second. Come on. Come on. Go it. Behave yourself. Look at that. Love this. Be 4 scale or something, that would. Not foreskin, people. 4 scale. Yeah. No, there's a load of wrong uns out there, see? Okay, 5.1 kilos. Bloody marvellous. There we go. There we go, baby. There we go. All right, let's go down and get the rest. Some more belters. Look at that. Unbelievable. A bit of damage there, that'll repair. Look at this one. This one's an absolute peach. Just going to get that in a separate. I'll weigh the other 2 together. That's a decent fish again, that. It's just mind boggles how this happened. Over there's, I've got to check through all them holding mesh tanks because there's some bloody hole in them or something. Because how could all these fish have got away? Makes no sense to me whatsoever. But that's a good one, that is. That's an absolute ripper. And again, these would be bigger if they were in the main lake. Yeah, 6'4". 6'4", so decent. Let's have a look at him go back, because he's a lovely fish, this one. Again, destined to be a beast. Destined to be a beast, look at him. He's just a bit hollow. I mean, that would be a 7.5 kilo fish now, if it was in this main lake. Look at him. So this is what we produce. This is Fensmere Fish Farm fish. Beautiful creatures, great growth potential. You know, their mums and dads are doing mid-70s now, so you know, lots and lots of potential from these fish to grow quickly, but they're healthy, they're strong. I don't push them too hard, so they're, you know, they're just in good, really good nick. Let's have a look at these 2. So that one, possible male. A little bit of damage on that side there, but look at that big scales through the bottom there. Bloody beautiful fish. Right, let's pull that up on now. See what that to weight. Okay, 8.5 kilos. Right, brilliant. So another two pearlers. These ones probably around that 6 kilo mark, which is, again, I'm really happy that they've managed to maintain half decent condition in that pond. You know, not knowing they were there, you know, it might sound like a bit of a bell end, but you know, the boys I know would have done their best and done everything that they knew. But look at them. Look at that one. I love the shape of that and the condition of that. I mean, there is nothing wrong with that. That is an absolute fucking pearler. And that one as well, look. Incredible looking fish. All right, I'll do these individual. It's a quick way. Oh, well, we're coming in too close, darling. They're not big. Yeah, 6 kilos, so both about 6. We won't worry about the other. We know what that is. Fantastic. Another belter, look at that. Bit lean, of course, but only to be expected when it's been in here for a bit of time. It's been in here for 3 months now, so you know, that's a good sized fish. Look at the frame on that. Absolute fantastic. All right, so what I'm looking for when I'm grading is not just scale patterns, but also the shape of the fish. You know, is it longer? Does it look more like it's a male? Has it got some bigger shoulders to it? Has it got any striking features that I like? And so now I'm putting them in. These are the 100 best ones that I'm keeping. But it's a brutal process. And anyone that, you know, loves carp, it's only a little one, but it's a beautiful fish. It's about 76. Nice one, couple of little scales, 77. It's a brutal process, but we have to be really, really brutal in this. Anything that's got damage that looks like it won't recover is no good. And then they just go straight out. That's got damage, right. Okay, so all done. We've got a few more in there at the moment, which we've got to, we're going to try and take out. Oh, spilling my coffee over myself. Yeah, we've still got a few straggler C1s in the hole there, which we're going to try and extract. But I had really quite successful. Got another 100 really nice fish, just a small amount of the really bigger frame commons, but some lovely mirrors, which are just my contingency if those cormorants really did a bit more of a number on us on the Leany Pond. Obviously, you know, we did see some lost fish there, but we don't know with the smaller ones just how many they ate, and they could have had loads. So I've got them 100 there as a contingency. I've got another 300 to 400 actually for the new waters, just in case, which will give us the opportunity to stock them, as I said earlier, and see how they go through the year. It'll give us an idea of the productivity of that lake, which is a really nice little bonus. Yeah, and that's it. A lot of unfortunately a lot of these C1s go to waste. It's a shame, but it's nature, eh? Other animals will benefit from that. You know, there'll be birds of prey here later on feasting on the little carp, and loving life. So it's all part of you know, nature's cycle, I suppose. You know, if they were in the main lake and they weren't kept in a tank away from predation, then the cormorants would have eaten most of them already. The egrets, the herons, you know, I've even seen the kites, beautiful kites. I've seen them actually, you know, like an osprey taking fish off the surface, so they'd have them as well. So anyway, that's just the way it goes. We're pretty much done here. I'm gonna have a quick brewski, and get everything sort of packed away, and then get back to see the lads. Hopefully they've got fish on the bank. Catch you later. Thanks. Bye bye. Well, I did get back, and the boys had a fish. Hey, bloody marvellous. Oh, well, I was actually on the route back, and Sally had got back a bit earlier, and she said to me, she rung and said the boys were into one. So Steve on the lawn was in, and landed an absolute peach common. It's done £8 in this last year. It was a common that we stocked from the fish farm last year, never got caught last year. Stocked in January, it's done £8, and looks in, it's in Optimus Prime condition and looks absolutely mint. It'll be a 50+ common next year, and by the looks of it, it's destined to become a beast. So super stoked. Again, look, thanks for following us on this journey of chaos and carnage, following me. If you know me, and anyone that meets me knows what you see is what you get, right? I don't change when I'm on this in front of the camera. I'm just a bit of a loon, but I love this game and I love doing what I'm doing, and I hope I convey that to you. Again, thanks so much for following. If you haven't subscribed, look, only about 15% of the people that watch my videos actually subscribe. Doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe. Just subscribe to me, please. It really helps us. Sal and I are doing a lot of work here, trying to you know, build a thriving carp fishery, and also a thriving fish farm here in France. And anything you can do to help, which is, you know, subscribing to this channel, would be absolutely fantastic. So I thank you very, very much. Hit the like button, and I think, I don't know, if you follow other YouTubers, you can hit the little bell thing as well, so you can get a little bit of an alert when I upload a video. Anyway, I'm going to get this video uploaded now. I'm going to go down with a Grimbergen, see the lads, congratulate them for catching the first fish this week. And yeah, then we're going to have dinner and probably I'll drink a load of Rioja. Hey! I'll catch you later. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.